This program was made possible with the continued support of the N1 Partners Program. Be number one with N1.
Hello, my friends, and here we go again with another week of online gambling headlines affecting affiliates. There is news to cover outside of the United Kingdom, but we must discuss a couple of stories from there first, including one from Evoke, who are reporting revenue issues tied to, you guessed it, the UK tax increase. Last week, we went into detail about the operators in the UK suffering under the new taxes, mandatory levy, and increased fees. This week, it's Evoke, who operate William Hill, 888, Mr. Green, and others. While year-on-year revenue remained virtually the same, their gaming duties jumped by £46 million, thanks chiefly to the UK remote gaming duty doubling. And it wasn't just them. Rank Group has joined Paddy Power, Betfred, and now Evoke in reporting, shall we say, operational difficulties directly tied to the UK tax hike. They may be forced to close bingo halls and casinos, and Rank's CEO added that ultimately these tax increases will actually reduce the amount of taxes collected. And I certainly hope it does. And as these developments were making this week's headlines, last week's stories were still stirring the pot, as many operators in the UK were upset when the new British Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, not only proposed scrapping the aim to permit rule, but also compared betting shops to vape shops, which apparently is a much bigger deal in the UK than I understood it to be as an American. I mention this because this article here emphasized what I've been screaming about at the top of my lungs for the past year, maybe longer, mainly that this fight we're in the United Kingdom is a political fight, and that being angry as an operator won't do a damn bit of good. That the UK gaming industry has been outmaneuvered by a bunch of politicians, that we have a lack of leadership, and that we don't even understand how to properly fight back. And you know what? They're right. Only now are we realizing this, and now may be too late.
7 Stars Partners is a multi-brand powerhouse. Promote their 9 top-tier brands of high-converting online casinos and sportsbooks with your stats tracked by NetRefer. Find flexible commission structures, including CPA, hybrid deals, and rev share up to 60%, all with no negative carryover. Don't settle for average. Join 7 Stars Partners.
Welcome back. The SBC Summit is coming up at the end of September, and I did such a great job at IGB London that they are sending me to Lisbon. If you're an APCW sponsor wanting an interview at the show, please do reach out and contact me directly. And if you are an affiliate on the fence about attending, well, maybe this will change your mind or tilt you in the right direction, as the show has added dedicated marketing and customer experience tracks to help with engagement and creating more effective campaigns. Plus, there are many other educational sessions that will be happening, but the most compelling reason to attend this event, you could actually meet Michael Korfman. And hey, if that doesn't get your ass on a plane, I don't know what will. Lastly, I would like to take a moment to close out the show with the thread I found interesting in the GPWA forums. A study from Gambling Compliance about how the growth of the black market is outpacing the growth of the regulated industry. While some speculations put the blame on the UK Gambling Commission, and rightfully so in Britain, this particular study was about the United States. As an American, I can honestly say that based on my personal experience and belief, this has to do with two fundamental things. First, state-by-state regulation is quite slow, and players get tired of seeing their neighbors in other states playing while they are stuck waiting, and eventually they head offshore. The second reason is the fundamental lack of education about web-based betting here in America. I experience this firsthand when I go to casinos with friends, or I'm sitting around a poker table and discussion turns to what we do for a living. These players see the adverts, they hear about regulation, and they just assume that if a website is online and accessible to them, it must be legal. So, now you have a better understanding about the American audience, and you can make better decisions about how to run your sites, conduct business, and do your own marketing. Your business, nobody else's. But with that, my time this week is up. I'm gonna go, but I'll be back next week, God willing. There is news to cover outside of the United Kingdom, but we must begin with a couple of someone fighting a chicken? Must be one hell of a chicken.